Earlier today, Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall went at it. And I gotta say, this fight, the second fight was better than the first fight. And the guy who won the fight actually got the decision. Jack Catterall got a unanimous decision over Josh Taylor. Now this sets up for a trilogy. Going into this fight, I didn't think it would be a trilogy. I thought it'd be a boring win for Jack Catterall because I feel Josh Taylor has outgrew the division. I don't know what Josh Taylor's gonna do, but health-wise, it'd be wise to him to move to 147. But I think he can make the most money right now, just right now, fighting Jack Catterall for a third time. I mean, as far as the record goes, they have a win under their belt over each other. I personally thought Jack Catterall won both fights. But congrats to Jack Catterall on his win that he deserved the first time. But did you hear Bob Arum after the fight? Bob Arum sounded disgusted. I think Bob Arum's still upset about Tyson Fury getting beat last Saturday. That's what it sounded like to me. Because even though Josh Taylor came on late, I still think Jack Catterall landed the cleaner punches, he had the better jab, and he also hurt Josh Taylor a couple of times in the fight, which means to me he was the more effective puncher. But we'll talk more about Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall's trilogy in another video.
That should happen. Look, I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise Crawford not to do that. Crawford could beat him because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight.
And some people will say, who cares what Amir Khan says? Amir Khan's been in the ring with both these guys. Canelo knocked him out, flatlined him, and Terence Crawford stopped him in 6. And I remember watching the Amir Khan fight. It was a very competitive fight until Canelo lowers the boom. And that's what Amir Khan's talking about. He said in another video, Terence Crawford could win this fight if he stays away from Canelo. And some people had Amir Khan winning the fight. And he says, Terence Crawford does not need that fight. There are other big money fights out there. He says, Terence Crawford should not take a fight like that unless he's getting paid very well. And Amir Khan goes on in this article and saying that like he was offered $3 million to fight somebody else, and they offered him $10 million to fight Canelo, and that's why he took the fight. He didn't know going into the fight that he would be in the fight till Canelo lowers the boom. And he said the same thing about Crawford. Crawford could win if he stays away from Canelo. But he also says if Canelo lands, he could seriously hurt Terence Crawford. He also says Canelo is easier to hit than Crawford. I've seen Crawford hit before. What's difficult about Crawford is hitting him with the same punch over and over again. You're not going to land that punch again. And Canelo's defense has improved since he fought Amir Khan. I mean, Canelo was 25 years old when he fought Amir Khan, and that was 2016. So his defense has vastly improved. Now on the flip side, when we talk about Crawford's chin, a lot of casuals got this thing that Crawford's chinny, he's been hurt. But like I said, what boxer hasn't been hurt? And when I bring up Canelo fighting Cotto, people get all sensitive and getting butthurt. Even though I'm picking Canelo to beat Crawford if this fight happens. But let's talk about Crawford's chin. I think Crawford's chin is better than his detractors say it is. At least we can agree that his chin is better than Amir Khan's. And he has a higher boxing IQ than Amir Khan. I also think Terence Crawford is a better puncher than Amir Khan. Amir Khan said Terence Crawford does have power, but we don't know if Terence Crawford has 168 pound power. And if we're keeping it real, I think Canelo punches harder than David Benavidez. And David Benavidez is basically a cruiserweight. That's just my opinion. Now, what I do disagree with Amir Khan about is that he said there are other big money fights out there for Crawford. Not as big as the Canelo fight. This is a bag and a half. This is a ride off in a sunset type of fight. Sort of like Benavidez for Canelo Alvarez. And people focus on the money aspect of it, right? But this is also historical. Because if Terence Crawford, he got to get past Madrimov. Madrimov's no easy out. If he gets past that, then he fights Canelo the next fight, and he wins that. Depends what the IBF does. If Canelo's undisputed and Terence Crawford happens to win the fight, he becomes 3-time undisputed champion. On top of that, he beats a legend in Canelo Alvarez. Now, he could be undisputed at 154, right? And I would give him credit for that. But nobody else will. They already said his resume is weak. If he beats a Madrimov and then he beats Bacrom and then he fights Errol Spence again, no one thinks Errol Spence is going to win that fight. And he beats the brakes off Errol Spence again. It becomes undisputed at 154. Who's going to give him credit for that but me? Like I said, I'm cool with him cleaning out 154, but nobody else will. But if he fights a Canelo Alvarez, a legend at 168, undisputed at 168, and he wins that fight, that would be a more impressive win for some people than him cleaning out 154. Anyway, let me know what you think about Amir Khan's comments. Leave your thoughts in comments below. JBZ, I'm gone.